Alrighty, and we are back, or, well, back if you were here about 30 minutes ago when we did the sound check. Seven, I see you're back too? I think so too. If anyone in chat wants to tell us if, like, Seven is coming in above the music well enough, I can always turn down the music. Just a hair, I guess. Yeah, okay, fine. I'm sure everything's okay. What are we doing today? I have been out for a while. Most of it is a little bit of a slump. Some of it has been me working on Seniriu in private with a group of people. Anyone who's interested in contributing to the Seniriu project can type up in chat if they think they can help. But today we are working on the Saturn Rings library. I keep saying rings. Saturn Ring Library. Jeez. Sorry. I keep wanting to say rings, and then I'm thinking of, like, you know that the menu for the Satiator that some guy made? Yeah. So, yeah, so I guess I keep getting that confused. So the Saturn Ring Library is a project. Who all is involved? It's going to be U7, ReyeMe, Denny. Yeah, as you can tell from this. Yeah, you can't actually see the URL. I'll post the URL here. So I don't know if the repo is like public or not. Like, is this ready for like people to actually come and check it out? All right. So I guess this is kind of like a little bit of a preview stream for something. I assume this is going to be submitted as a utility for the competition once I do announce it. Yeah, I mean, well, I mean, primarily, at least what I'm trying to do with it. Oh, you can't hear Seven? Seven, try talking again. Oh my goodness, you're getting filtered out on OBS. That's insane. Here, give me a second. Jeez. Try again. My God. No, we gotta fix this, because, like, the whole point of you being here is to, yeah, right? This is truly baffling. Let me, because this thing is meant to. Here, let's try this. Let's put you on aux. Can I pick you up on aux? Say something.
Hello. Can you hear me?
There we go. Okay. That was a weird bug. Okay, so if that's on aux, when I put the music back on. Dang it. Okay. Let's open foobar back up again and see if it'll pick up on aux output. No? Okay. Just one little bit of live audio fixing. Geez.
Alrighty.
Output. Let's put this output on aux. Where's aux? Jeez, I have so many things on here. Oh, there we go. Now it's really quiet. Yeah, you know what? Let me renormalize Seven's audio down to 100%. Seven, do you have like a little speech prepared for sound check, like a Lorem Ipsum type thing?
No, not particularly.
Okay.
I can just keep talking. Hello.
I think this is good enough. If anything, the music is a little too quiet now.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I think we're good. I think chat can confirm that they can hear everyone, and we can adjust audio as needed. Anyway.
see.
How loud is
Who
pretty
all
loud,
is here?
Fonzo? Oh, by the way, welcome to the. This is the first time you've been on my stream, Fonzo. That doesn't sound right. I'm sure you've been on here before. Okay. Possible harasser monitoring. Jeez, Twitch, you are aggressive.
Oh my.
You should see some of this. Some of the mod tools I have on Twitch. It's hilarious. Okay. Yeah, I think that was like a delayed reaction from when I was messing with it. Anyway, let's get back on task. I think we're good for now, and in 5 minutes, if people are still complaining, then we'll fix it again. Saturn Ring Library. Now, my usage for it is that I'm working on Seniriu with a group of people, including you and Ray. And so, if anyone remembers the Saturn homebrew competition from like 5 years ago, I submitted a really crappy little tech demo with Xenos trying to use GeoEngine's native tools in my first attempt at 3D. And we got like a tech demo thing going. Like we could walk around and stuff.
I remember.
Yeah.
I think that was the first year I submitted anything too.
Was CubeCat in that one? I don't think...
It might have been. Or maybe it was the year after that.
It might have been the year after that. I think you were competing with me on Blue Skies that year.
Yeah.
That would have been the year afterward when I was working with Xenos again. So my use for this is that this is a new set of tools, and normally you see me coding in C, which is why I'm saying today's stream is probably going to be crap on my end because like I'm very rusty. SRL is actually in C++, so this is C++ being compiled for the SH2 processor. So C++ for the Sega Saturn. To my knowledge, this is a first. I don't think anyone else.
I think someone else might have been. Oh, who was it?
Do you think it maybe Damage X or something like that? I know Damage X was doing maybe Lisp or something to SH2. I forget what.
Maybe.
Yeah, but
yes, we're trying to basically make a wrapper for SGL that works in C++ with modern C++ features.
So yeah, and this has gotten me to let me fix my output real quick. There we go. This has forced me to finally upgrade from Notepad++ to VS Code. So, yeah.
Yes, me too. This is the first time I've really done anything with Visual Studio at all.
So I was so used to using the batch files from just like the GeoEngine environment and just using Notepad++. I'm actually like still kind of struggling with the interface on VS Code.
Me too. I still sometimes just use the batch files if I'm like, it's like, it's just in here, I'll just compile it, it's fine. I'll just use it as an editor and compile it through the batch files. But, yeah, I should get my setup more integrated too.
Here, let's, so, I'm playing with, let's start going through the samples, and we're just gonna see, like, what the code looks like in C++, and, also... if there's time to play, maybe we can play a little. Did I just drop this in already? Okay, I think I did. Yeah, I dropped in some of the batch files already. Let's just look at this code. So I just wanted to go not quite in order because some of these don't really make sense for me to play with in order, but we'll get to them. Just like the VDP1 samples, like the stuff that you can actually see. Oops, why did I do that? There we go. So we'll have the flat teapot. So flat is in flat shaded or flat lit.
Yes.
Now, presumably, like I copied the clean, compile, and run Minifin scripts over from whatchamacallit, the Seniriu project folder. So this should work in the same folder structure. And I think the only caveat here is that the emulator Mednifen, So I'll show you what I did. Is I have the real Saturn Ring library that I've been working with. Uh, Here, let me just we can wipe that. B file is always expendable. Copy this over, and then here's a freshly pulled Saturn Ring lib from GitHub, which again is still private if 7shades is correct, which he probably is because he works on this, meaning that this is a preview and not necessarily something you guys are going to be able to play along with. So you'll just be able to see what will eventually, hopefully, be public access. All right.
Indeed.
So
I'm actually going to put up a VDP2 sample too. I forgot to do that.
Oh, that would be great to do. I actually, you remember I took that whatchamacallit, panoramic picture of that square that I wanted to try to drop in for the arena combat test. So,
yeah, definitely. Yeah, I don't know if we'll get around to that tonight, but
no, probably not. Like,
soon.
I feel like after like 2.5 hours or so of us playing around, it's gonna be enough for me to get my feet wet and for us to have a a decent like preview. And also, I forgot to do the community challenge this week at Shiro. This challenge is what was it? Blazing Heroes, I think it's called. So I was planning on playing that tonight, last minute before the deadline. Anyway,
Blazing Heroes. Which game is that? Is that the strategy game?
Yeah, I think so.
Like a turn-based strategy that has like the alternate name because they got copyright.
Because it's like it's also like Mystaria.
Yeah.
Yeah, that. Anyway, if anyone who's part of the Shiro community, it's a little bit late now to try to run through this, but this is the community challenge this month, and I wanted to try to get through to the first checkpoint by the end of the night. So, normal size stream, 2-ish hour stream. So, if you're asking why, it's primarily because of that. Also because I have been in a bit of a slump. I haven't been very productive code-wise, so I'm just trying to warm up here. I'm not trying to do one of my 7-hour marathon type deals. And I want to respect 7shades' time, because he's doing much more important work than me. Yeah.
I don't know about that. We'll see.
Without your VDP2 contributions, not only do I not to get stuff done, a lot of other people are not going to be able to get stuff done.
Yeah.
My project is primarily my vanity of me wanting to make my story happen. So, the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the Spock or whatever.
There's still a lot of stuff to do on the VDP2 branch, but at least the samples are compiling now, so I've at least fixed that.
Okay. So, Shadow's talking about modifying the CPK player source. That's another thing I think needs to be considered, and I don't know if Ray's already working on it. Okay. But yeah, I think CPK support, because whatchamacallit? What's the name of ReyeMe's shooter game? I completely forgot.
Oh, Sky
Blaster. Yeah.
Blaster?
Yeah, Sky Blaster has FMVs in it, so he's going to need to add in that kind of support, but I think he already knows how to do it, kind of. So I think that's going to happen eventually. Meaning, to answer Dojin's question, to follow up on that, y'all is still something that I view as not ready for a normal developer, even a relatively experienced developer, to actually try to make games with. It is very much like an active development process. It's like, oh, Ray, thank you for coming on. You can comment too. Ray's actually like the star here of the SRL project.
Yes, the hero of SRL.
Yeah.
Join the chat.
So he can opine on my opining. Oh my goodness. Let's how do I block this guy? Oh jeez. We got a little troll in here. I don't know if it's showing up on chat or not. If it's being blocked automatically, that's good. There we go. Alright. Well, we got rid of that guy, hopefully. Okay. Oh, so Ray is saying the CPK player is planned, and will probably fork Romulo's work. I'm not familiar with Romulo's work, but I'm sure Ray knows what he's doing. So is the
Oh, is
dot mod?
Romulo the other one who was working on C++
That might be it.
development?
So CPK is Cinepack. That's like pretty much any Saturn game that has FMVs in it. It probably has Cinepack files. It's like a standard encoding. If you have a video card in your Saturn, you can utilize MPEG encoding, which is different and more compression, but requires more CPU power to decompress, which is why the card is doing its job. And I believe the PS1 had some native MPEG support, which gave it a little bit of an edge on FMVs. But Trekkies has shown some remarkably good Cinepack encoding and playback on the Saturn.
Yeah, that demo was so impressive this last year.
Oh yeah, did you do you
I
remember the entire competition between all those different consoles, where it's like the N64
Oh, I
demo
remember
was like
that too. That was awesome. I
freaking
was thinking
ridiculous.
of the one that he entered for
Oh,
last
the 29th.
year's uh, competition.
Yeah,
And that
yeah.
one was like an hour of different samples. I burned that to a disc, and I
I
still play it sometimes. And I'm like, whoa.
I really wish he didn't put the copyright bombs in there, like the
Mhm.
anime intros and stuff like that, because those are like instant flags on YouTube.
Yeah.
Okay. I think we need to actually get into the sample. So let's see if it compiles first. Uh, I can't. I can't tell if that actually compiled. Let me include. So this sample that I'm running here, the flat teapot sample, it seems to have trouble. It doesn't have. It doesn't know what to do with tlsf.h.
Hmm. That. And this is the most recent fresh build of SRL that you pulled off of GitHub.
There. So I need recursive clone. Oh, did I not do that correctly? Here, let's try this again. Let me here, let's delete this entirely. Oh boy. How much did I? Oh, let me there we go. Okay. So let's open up Ray, can you remind me, how do I do recursive clone in from Git? So I have Git Clone and then your library. And this is a good note to have. Let me see if I can't Google it faster than you can tell me. Is it literally like tac R? Oh, it's tac recursive. Like this? Or maybe I need to put it next to clone. Nope. Recursive.
Sometime you're gonna have to help me with all this too, Ray, because
Oh,
I
whoops.
get so confused trying to get it to do everything automatically.
Okay. I was trying to pull from his website instead of the GitHub. That was dumb. So it's Git Clone. I'm pretty sure it's tac recursive to make sure, because you have to pull in the modules he's pulling in. Oh, with submodules. Okay, sorry. Jeez. Let's try recursive tac submodules. It didn't like that. Is that, did I spell something wrong? Git clone tac recursive. Recursive. I'm not crazy, right? Oh, you guys can't see what I'm typing. There we go. Let me, I mean, I'm kind of eating my mic here. I guess I could try to knock 7 down a hair. Actually, 7, can you talk so I can see which monitor I'm pulling you in from?
Hello, testing. Hello.
Huh. You know, I'll just... Okay, sorry. Oh, it looks like problems solved, more or less. Recurse. Is it... Oh, jeez. Okay. So now we are pulling in modules with the submodules, or the entire repo with the submodules. I am going to have to copy over Mendefin again, so let's do that. Yep, it's done. So Mendefin is dropped in. And just for safety's sake, let me go and pull in the batch files, because I'm assuming I don't have those. All right. Sample. Going back to the flat teapot. Oh, it comes with them. Never mind. I mean, if someone could put together like a proper way of doing MIDI/FM synth stuff that made sense, because like I'm aware that it's been done. I think Damage X might have something or whatever. I just don't know how to do it in any of the actual normal environments that people dev on. Anyway, let's open up the sauce.
Yes.
All right. I don't need your release notes. Come on. And then Control-Shift-B. Trust Workspace and continue. What is going on with my... Why can't I see anything? Oh. Does anyone know how to open up the terminal view on VS Code when it's not like already there?
I do not know my way around.
Oh, there we go. I'll just hopefully that stays there. So let's try running the build again, just so I can. Oh, there's no tasks. All right, so. Ah, jeez. You know what? Screw it. Let's just do the batch file. Because normally the Control-Shift-B should be mapped to clean and compile, or at least compile. And it looks like it built because there's a bin queue. I'm not, like, the C++ extension, like, I should have extensions. I should have, geez, how do I even check? This is VS Code. Like, if I look at my extensions, I got the C++ extension. It's right there. It's doing its job, presumably. Anyway, it doesn't see like a task.json. That's kind of the issue there. Anyway, we can start running with Mendefin now and see what happens. Oh, what do you know? I fixed my capture setup for the most part, so it actually captures the Mendefin without me having to drag the window over. That's nice.
Oh.
All right. So here's the teapot. I can see some backface culling happening already. Just
Yeah, it's not really a problem with the rendering so much as just the model, I think Ray was saying.
it could, well, so did Ray try to like convert the standard teapot into a quad-based one, and maybe the normals didn't quite normal out the way they were supposed to? Because I am kind of seeing through the lid.
Oh, Yeah, I think that they're just not, they're non-planar, the quads are, so, uh, since SGL internally bases the backface cooling just on the normal of the plane of the polygon, it won't be accurate for non-planar polygons from all angles.
Oh, so some of these are non... Okay, that's not great. Anyway, so this is just a demo from inside of SRL. We can see the 3D mesh being rendered. Now, if I go into the CD, we have this an interesting data format called a NIA format. Now, I'm assuming this is from Ray's tank game, the cat one. I forget the
I
name of
haven't
it.
actually looked at that format yet
What?
myself. I haven't looked at the NIA format myself either.
Just out of curiosity, I'm just gonna open it anyway. Oh, oh no, it's a binary. Never mind. I thought it might be a fun little like OBJ type thing. But no. So I'm not gonna be able to parse that. uh, anyway, let's see what is going on here. It's initializing with a background color that this is essentially purple. OX31. What is 30? Let's go real quick. Binary hex translator. So that's hexadecimal to let's see, 31. So this is 8-bit color depth, or no, 6-bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that is close enough. I think that's within the scope of 8-bit color depth. How high can you put this high color to?
I think the high color, I think it's going probably between 0 and 255, I would assume, and then the high color turns it into... Because the high color is just 5 bits per channel. So I think it's a conversion to the 5-bit internal.
Okay. But this is in hex, so if I wanted to, say, do a white background... Oh, you know what? This is a good exercise for us to do. Let's go into the documentation and search for high color. There we go. So white is OX8000? Okay, there we go. So this is what I was about to ask, is can we just do it this way? Because it's easier for me to parse 255.
Yeah.
Now, I believe this is an error right here in the documentation. Black is not the white color, and also 8000 kind of tells me that it's a whole bunch of zeros, and then there's a top bit there that's set to 1 for visibility.
Yep, so that should be black.
Yeah. It's kind of hard to tell with the 8 there. Like, it might be better to be maybe written as a binary thing or something just to show, yeah, this is just the top bit or something. I don't know. How do you, can you write binary in C++, like OXB or something like that?
Dang, I don't know, I haven't tried. You can do octadecimal, I'm pretty sure.
So let's try doing one of the... Yeah, OB, that's what I thought, something like that. But I want to try doing... Oh, Shane, thanks for coming back in and resubbing with your Bezos bucks. I always appreciate more Bezos bucks. Let's try to pull in the actual class constant of blue. So can we do... let's comment out this line. Now, I'm rusty with my C, so is it like this? Can I just type in blue with 2 semicolons and pull in that constant?
Yes, I believe that should work.
So I just opened up the folder as ReyeMe suggested. Constructors. Thing is, I don't want to use a constructor. I wanted to actually pull in that constant there.
Oh, it's high color, not... Yeah.
Is it type? High colors, colors. Okay.
Yeah.
Hi. I don't. So what I'm asking is, can I do something like this and try to pull in blue that way? And I feel like that should result in a blue thing.
Go back to the documentation real quick. I think that's right.
No, that didn't. I think I didn't clean correctly. So let me clean. I'll wait for that to run its course. Yeah, I thought I compiled, but I think I might not have. Because I pressed Control-Shift-B and it's giving me a bunch of different options. There we go. So that's pulling in the constant blue from the high colors subclass. Now, Ray, that .nya file, I'm assuming that's your proprietary thingamajig there. Now, normally I'm going to be using like the ZTP file format, but I don't know. For CubeCat 7, what do you normally use?
I have my own binary formats for everything. Just sort of on a whim when I need some data, I just like throw something together.
It's the thing I like to hear the least is, oh yeah, I just have my own custom binary format for every game. So everyone's got their own custom thing, which makes it like,
yeah.
First off, one, I'm probably too lazy to ever make my own binary format that isn't just, hey, let's just take OBJ files and just directly translate them with minimal oversight. And the other thing is, I would like for there to be like a standard thing, because we're never, except for maybe in your case in XL2's case, you probably do need to optimize like crazy. Probably opponents too. But for most people, like crap, who won the competition just this last year? The witch game.
Why am I blanking out on his name?
I for some reason,
no, it was the survival horror game this last year.
No, not just, well, okay, yes, also the survival horror game, which, you know what, let's just go to emeraldnova.com and look up the winners. But I wasn't just thinking of that one, I was thinking of the year before. So this year, it was Cold Case with Jay Beretta. I can't believe I forgot Jay Beretta.
Yes.
But before that, there was Bridget Bishop from Fran Matsuzaka. So Bridget Bishop is also like a simple enough game where like you don't need a hyper optimized file format just to display what I assume is not even more than 200 quads on the screen. So like it would be nice to have like something standard and readily available. Like the tool I use, ZTP, but ZTP has gone through so many revisions that haven't been made public yet that it's hard to recommend it flat out. Okay, anyway, that's so everyone check out previous competition entries. There's some really good games there, including CubeCat from fellow Iron Dev, as Pandemonium has dubbed us, Seven Shades.
I guess so.
Yeah.
That's a lot to live up to.
I mean, you've already won it, so I think at this point you're like a game dev emeritus, unless CubeCap wins again, or you make a new thing.
I don't know. I think we all live in XL2's shadow. But he's not doing it anymore, so...
So here's the thing. I don't quite accept that. I accept that XL2 has made fantastic tech demos, but he's not done anything that's, like, from a game design perspective, entirely unique yet. You have... Fran has, Jay Beretta has, sure. ReyeMe has, probably, I don't want to say to a lesser extent, because like, shooters are just not my genre, but like Sky Blaster is an entirely unique original thing. Yeah,
and Slide Hop, Conut, like, he's been working on this for ages.
And that's like an entirely original thing. And so, I don't think a game has come out yet that has been like, yours is the closest. I would say that yours is probably the closest. That is like, the closest to a complete experience, and also an original new thing that isn't just like a port or a remake or just like another version of something that we've already seen on the Saturn. Like, without CubeCat, there is legitimately no good 3D platformer on the Saturn because Croc is crap.
Yeah. I play Croc, and Croc is like...
It's the tank controls. The tank controls just don't work.
Yeah. It doesn't. And it works even less with the analog stick if you turn that on. It's like, this should be better, but no, it's somehow worse.
It really is. Dojin, you'll probably think of Ninpen Mamaru, which is better than Croc, but is also, like, it's a different enough from the standard Collectathon that you're normally thinking of that I think I would put CubeCat over that if you're looking for like a Collectathon type thing, like the N64 type games. Pawcraft.
If it ever becomes a complete game, still working away on it.
Pawcraft. Okay, so ReyeMe's Pawcraft. Is this your? Oh, this is your map editor. Oh, object to Nya model conversion tool from object to custom Nya model format. Interesting. Let me see if I can't resize this window to make it a little bit easier for people to read what I'm reading. Yeah. So if you go to Pawcraft, and I'll drop the link over here. So OpenUSD. So Shane, I think the problem that's unique to what we're talking about here is the Saturn has a very specific set of hardware that expects certain kinds of inputs. Like the VDP1 chip is like expecting a very specific bit stream. And so whatever format gets adopted by the Saturn homebrew community is going to need to specifically be in that format to maximize throughput, because you don't want to be parsing 3D models live inside the Saturn from like an open source computer-based thing, like something that might work on OpenGL, to like you need to make sure that the correct bits are flipped on for Go rad shading or whatever thing on the VDP1. Anyway, so Utenya, I couldn't remember that name. The cat girl tank game. Shane, I think it would be like more useful for like an editor, like a 3D model editor. It would not be usable on the Saturn. The Saturn has a very specific binary that it's looking for for the VDP1 to use stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, it just, in the end, it just increases load times to not have it already set up for it to use. Like that's
you need to precompile your 3D mod. If any, like I'm okay with using JSONs for like save files or whatever, or text parsing, like if you're doing text to VDP2, because that can be done pretty cheaply. And it's worth not having to do the tooling for that headache, because then you can just go directly into the files and fit. But the 3D models, there's no way around it. That's where all the heavy lifting is. That and the physics. And the physics is relying on the 3D models. So everything needs to be hyper optimized. Camera location. So I feel like a lot of this is pretty straightforward. The input we're not doing anything with. Yeah, it's we're already 1 hour in the stream, and we're still in the sample one because we keep talking about interesting stuff. So I'm going to try to speed things up a little bit.
Yeah, it's just a little.
Okay, light direction. Here's something fun we can try to play with. Now it's being flatly lit from the direction of... now, we have to remember, on the Saturn, when you look forward, that's forward in the minus Z direction. Right is a positive X direction, and up is a negative Y direction. So, unless ReyeMe changed something on here. Also, doubles? Seriously? Well, I guess at compile time it doesn't matter. It's just weird to see floats. Floats are nasty to me. I have like a natural revulsion to seeing floats in the Saturn.
Yeah, it all gets converted to fixed point.
Yeah. Do you think if I put ints in here, it'll matter at all?
I don't know off the top of my head. I just use floats in there.
Let's try changing the direction of the. Oh wait. It doesn't like something I did here. Int. What's wrong? That should be perfectly valid. It doesn't like my changes here? Let's see, what happens when I try to build? Clean.
Oh, Ray's saying that ints don't convert automatically. Whereas he's got it set up so that floats convert to fixed point automatically.
Alright, let's try again. So, here's another thing. I'm seeing that the print has a debug flag on it. I'm wondering if I compile with release.
That debug is for the debug module. It's one of the header files that we have. And right now, I think in your build, it is currently just calling SL print.
Yeah. So my thinking was if I built for release, that it would not print out the debug flag there, but it is.
Yeah, no, I think the only thing that it doesn't do is assert when you don't have the debug flag on. So when you have the debug flag on, it will print the assert screen if something triggers it, flags it.
Okay. I think that's more of a... It's not a problem with behavior as much as it is probably of labeling. I guess I would have labeled it differently, but whatever. I think I did...
Still sort of the debug text system. Like, I guess the idea is that you would maybe have your own
in VDP2,
sprite-based text system or something. I've got... In the VDP2 branch right now, I have an ASCII text scroll system that replaces SL print basically one-to-one. So I've got that hooked up in the VDP2 branch. And it lets you load your own fonts and stuff.
Neato. I would like to have access to that whenever you're done with it, so I could start playing with the... what I want to do is I want, before we get a voice actor for Seniriu, I want to like test out an ADX playback on top of VDP2 print statement on top of VDP1 character printout. If you can imagine something like that. Yeah. Anyway, I think I did change the lighting on it because it looks like the lighting's coming from below instead of above. Now, what's throwing me off is that in screen space, negative Y is supposed to be up on the Saturn. So that did flip around for me. So is it? It's pointing in that direction. It's not coming from that direction. I guess I was thinking of it backwards. So it's pointing.
Pointing up. Yeah. Pointing in the.
But then, oh, sorry, positive Z is forward. So if I want it to be lit from behind, if I wanted to be like we're casting a shadow on it.
Oh, yeah, that should.
Yeah. Clean. Compile. There we go. And run.
Ray, is the light direction normalized?
He does it right here. Right afterwards.
Okay.
It's normalized.
Yeah.
But then he divides it by 4, and I do not understand why.
Yeah, there's the shadow in the front.
Well, Ray, I don't think that's true. I think you're normalizing it right after that on line 29 right here. Here, I'll show you. So it looks dark in the front, but not like a hyper dark, like... So I'm not sure how much weight light it is putting on here compared to just...
Scale of the vector affects the brightness. Interesting.
So let's comment this out and see how much that divide by 4 is actually doing. And also, you're dividing by a float here, which is interesting. So is that dividing by a float actually supposed to do that? Because the light direction is supposed to be converted to fixed at this point, right? I assume.
So wait, light direction dot normalize doesn't normalize it?
I think he's mistaken. I think he means this is not normalized in the constructor, but that's why he normalizes right afterwards. That's the only thing that makes sense to me.
Okay.
Yeah. And let's just double check the vector 3D. Wait, compile time any written down float is converted to fixed? That's insane.
Yep. It's pretty nice.
I spent all this time building up muscle memory of just making fixed automatically with shifts. Let's see, vector 2D. Length, constant direction. X-axis component, but it's fixed point. FXP is your version of fixed point. Okay. I guess it's easier to type in fixed. Oh, right. I was going to clean compile and run this much stronger lit background. Can you use multiple light directions?
No. I mean, not at the same time, I don't think. Well, actually, for different objects...
There we go.
It depends on how it's being implemented.
So, like, the strength of the light actually makes it kind of... It makes the contrast stronger. So, like, the foreground is actually darker than it was before. Let's see if we can't make it, like, super ridiculous. So my thinking is like, okay, if you're just doing like white light, you can always make a linear combination of all the different light sources you want that are linear and just make a single light source. But if you wanted different colors, like if you wanted green to come from this direction and red to come from another direction, that would be, I think, interesting to see. But I don't know how you'd implement that if the XP data can only hold one light source at a time. So like you wouldn't be able to do it on like an object. Basically, what you'd have to do would almost be like this go rad looking effect, where like you're in one area and you have one light source applied to you, and then you walk into the other area and you have different light source applied to you, and you just have to design the level in such a way that you don't notice this shift. So yeah, I made it super bright on one side, and the engine, I guess, is compensating by making it super dark in the foreground, which is nice. Let's put it in from the right. So -10. It could literally just be -1 actually. Okay, last time of me playing with light, because the light is novel to me, because whenever I played with lights in Joe Engine, everything was just broken. So now it's kind of fun that it's just working and it looks cool. And we're about to go to a cooler.
You can do the smooth shading too.
Yeah, I know. We're about to do that. I just wanted to go through the lines and see if there's anything interesting to extract. There we go, see? So we got like a super hyper bright light coming in from the right, and it's dark on the left. And I think a great use of this effect would be if you had like a space combat sim or something like that. You could literally be like increasing the strength of the light vector on the XP data with distance from a quote-unquote sun, and have a really cool shadow effect on that. Anyway, That's fun. But you guys can see all the seams on that model, so we're about to fix that. Let's look at this angle, initialize rotation. So he's rotating by like 1 degree per frame, it looks like, or something like that, or rotation. Yeah, rotation step 1 degree per frame from here. So he's starting at 0 degrees. Rotation step is 1 degree, and he's adding the rotation step onto the rotation for the rotate Y, rotating about the Y-axis. What I'm interested in is this angle format, because I know I've had multiple discussions and or arguments with ReyeMe about what an angle is supposed to do in the Saturn. So I want to know how this angle works. Oh, it's literally just SGL angle. Never mind. Okay, cool. I thought I was about to have opinions. Okay.
Same coordinate system.
Right, which is great because on SGL, angle 0 is 0, and then like the maximum positive value I think is like 180 degrees or close enough to it, and then it rolls over into.
Oh, with the macro, that stupid macro, like it's between negative 180 and 180, and then if you try to put anything in higher, it like freaks out.
It's supposed to be, I think, like SInt 16. Where like max positive SInt 16 is basically 180. I forget where the rollover is, if it's exactly 180 or a hair below it. But the idea there is that as you rotate, it automatically rolls over, which is exactly what you want an angle format to do.
Yeah.
So you don't start accumulating angles unnecessarily, like have a format that supports like 720 degree rotations. You don't want that.
It's just annoying because just using their SGL macro is annoying because like angle 170 plus angle 20 works, but angle 170 plus 20 doesn't work. Like you have to.
Oh, I see what you mean. So like when you try to cast down to that angle, you can't get it there. And honestly though, I've not had that issue primarily because I think normally everything I do has been essentially assuming an angle of 0 before we start accumulating inputs. And the other thing is...
It was just an annoying thing with it, but...
Yeah, I get it. It would be nice if the macro worked better, like if it supported like 1 bit higher precision or something like that, or I don't know how many more bits you'd need to get where you need to go, and just shifted it down as needed. But that sounds like a whole ass function at that point. Everything here looks to be pretty straightforward. The camera works as part of the scene structure. Load identity. If I'm correct, that just means the identity matrix. Oh, it says right there, identity matrix. It's weird that needs to be loaded. Is this like pushing a new matrix onto the stack for the transformation?
That's making the that's making the base matrix or whatever the current matrix is into the identity matrix, I believe.
So
if it's using SL unit matrix, right. It's just whatever.
This is happening in the for loop, so it's not like it's an initialization the way you normally think of it is. So in the SGL environment,
it's essentially refreshing it to be the identity.
Yeah. So like in the SGL environment, the SGL has support for multiple matrices that you can store on a stack. And the way you normally interact with it, and the way I've always interacted with it, I only use 1 matrix in step. What you do is you push a new matrix onto the stack and then pop it off at the end of the frame, or at the beginning of the next frame. So it looks like we're kind of skipping that architecture and going straight to just manipulating the matrix directly by reinitializing it to 1 at the start of the frame.
Yeah, and that's partially because look at least through SL lookat doesn't just copies the camera matrix to whatever the current matrix is. So
right.
So it doesn't.
If you've been like putting down objects like P data or something like that with the rotation matrix on it, and you forgot to pop it off, then the camera would be modified by that rotation matrix you defined, and that could be a problem because you could have been doing some wacky stuff with rotations and translations to make it so the camera is not where you expect it to be.
Yeah. And it's best just to make sure the identity matrix is there when you need it to be.
So in this situation, it kind of looks like the camera is stationary and the entire world revolves around the camera, which is a pretty standard way of doing things. Although it looks like there is room for doing it the other way, where like the world is stationary and the camera, kind of.
I think it's more that the camera stationary and the teapot is rotating. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if the whole. Yeah.
But it looks like with this format, if I instead of doing stuff to the pot, I did stuff to the camera. Like I made the camera orbit by applying the rotation to like a vector, like rotating a vector around the axis and then applying that vector to the camera location. I could achieve the same effect. Like the camera was orbiting the pot, not the pot just rotating in place.
Yeah.
Draw command seems pretty straightforward because the teapot is of type what? Model object. So there's this model object format here. So synchronize, is that just like wait for VSync or something like that?
Yeah, it's basically SL sync in SGL. Same thing.
And then is there an argument here to change the frame rate?
Probably in core initialize up at the top of main.
Right.
I think core initialize, there's an optional argument, I believe. Like,
right.
If you look at the function definition in the documentation.
So there's high color and that's a pointer, I guess. Back color.
Or SRL frame rate is it's defined in the make file. That's right.
Interesting.
That's
okay.
Right.
What if I need to do a dynamic thing, or if I decide I need to change things in the middle of whatever I'm doing?
I guess we're not supporting that.
So SRL frame rate, yeah, it's using like 60 divided by value. 0 is dynamic, so it supports dynamic, but let's see if I can't slow this thing way the heck down. Let's try to do like 12 frames per second, see if there's a notable difference. That's 4, I want to say.
I don't know if that's...
No, that's 5.
Even defined for SGL. I know you can do 30 and
I think
60. I've never tried to go lower.
Let's give it a shot, because like games go that slow sometimes.
Yeah.
Clean. Compile. See if I slowed it down significantly. Honestly, I really can't tell if it's that much slower. Because we're doing frame-based rotation, the rotation should literally be slower. And without a stopwatch, like it should be basically 4 times, 5 times slower. So I don't think I successfully did that. Let's try to let's try to do like 3 and see if we can, what's that, 20 FPS? Like it should be noticeable. There we go. That's noticeable, right? Like, you can tell it's a little bit slower. At least that feels slower to me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and just for comparison's sake, so I can go back in the stream and check. Let's change this back to 1 for 60 frames. Okay, now I feel like I'm going crazy because that looks exactly the same.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it slowed it at all.
I think this is a thing that I'd only be able to witness if I like put a printout of the actual FPS. But the frame-based rotation should tell me that if the rotation slows down, the rotation should slow it too, because it's not doing it by delta t.
Yeah,
but,
no, it should.
Yeah. Okay, let's move on to the smooth teapot.
Yeah.
All right. There we go. Now, what's the difference here is we have this whole shading table that should probably be in its own header file somewhere. Model object HPP. Is this like a custom model object thing? I thought model object was part of the main SRL log. Oh no, it's here too. So I guess model object is like included in the sample. I just didn't see it earlier. All right. Oh, okay, it's from Nya. So you're importing. It's not built into SRL. It's built in from Nya, and you're including it here. Okay, I get it. Here's the different shading tables. It's basically just white from black to white with different shades of gray in the middle. RGB 555, meaning it goes from 0 to 31 on each. So this is the brightest you can get. Is this supposed to be here? That comma? That looks wrong.
Yeah. It's a comma separated list of all the table elements. Since each of the high. On the last one? It doesn't matter, actually. It doesn't make any difference, I don't think. And leaving it there lets you add another entry without worrying about forgetting a comma, so.
Hey, Dragons of Saturn. Yeah. Feel free. This will be on YouTube. Probably late tonight, if anything. So don't worry too much about missing the stream. I'm glad you came in to say hi. Just go on YouTube and look for Emerald Nova, or it should be in the description under my Twitch thing. There should be a link to the Emerald Nova YouTube somewhere. Yeah, it's like the third link down on important links. Also, it's on my website, so you know, emeraldnova.com. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Anyway, let's go back to the sample. Initialize with the color. We already played with that. Print statement. Same teapot, S-pot, I guess Saturn pot. Spot. Camera location, light direction, set directional light. Get face. Okay, so we're doing something new here. We're getting a number of faces, and then we are working through. Oh, geez, what is going on here? We're going through.
I mean, I haven't looked at this demo either. Let's see.
Work table. So we're indexing it by a quarter of the total face count. That's weird.
We're multiplying the face count by 4 because there's 4 colors per face.
4 colors? 4 vertices.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
So 4 vertices and 4 16-bit, 1 color for each vertex.
Well, I think the reason why we're doing the shift by 2 here is just to get per vertex, so it could be like go rad, like from vertex to vertex here, and then vert work is going to be get vertex count. So we're going to map this work table to this, which means this is going to have a lot of redundant vertices in it. I'm not sure if I know exactly why it is that way, but whatever.
Each face needs a broad table of 4 colors because it.
Right. Okay.
Each face.
Yeah, I get. So just to put some paint work on it. Let's go into paint. If we have like there we go. There we go. I'm just like Go Pirate Game streams doing my paint explanations here. We have 9 quads here. But if we want to do some Go Rad stuff, let's say RGB Y, then we're going to need to, let's say for the middle, we want to do Go Rad in the middle here. There's going to be a red vertex, and then a blue vertex, and then I guess a yellow vertex. So this is not, these colors are just custom colors that I'm picking, and so
Yep.
it will create this gradation from like this red vertex to this green vertex. So in the middle it might be like, I don't know, gray or something. It's just gonna like smoothly translate from red to blue along this line, and then translate along this line and translate along this line. Eventually it's gonna the whole thing's gonna be like this gradiated between 4 colors, and I think
Rainbow
PowerPoint
color.
might do.
Yeah, it's linear interpolation along both axes.
Right. So the reason why we need 4 is, like you said, each face needs the 4 colors from the 4 vertices to be able to interpolate over.
Yeah.
And
like when you're doing the lighting computations, you only need to calculate the color per vertex, but then you still need a copy of each color for each face when you're sending the tables over to VRAM.
Now, what's important here is that this allows for vertices to have different colors from different faces, because otherwise you'd be able to redundantly use the vertex. So if you wanted one face to be flat shaded red, then you'd have to define all 4 of those vertices as red if you're going to still use the Go Red format over the whole mesh. But then the neighboring one, if you wanted to be solid blue, then that same vertex would have to be blue on that face, but red on the original face. So you wouldn't be able to set one color per vertex. You have to set one color per face. Per vertex, or per vertex per face.
Yeah.
Right. Initializing the Go Rad table with, I guess, 0 is... let's find out what all these things mean. RAM offset. So RAM offset is just basically like a bit shifted memory address in color RAM or whatever, wherever the Go Rad is stored. I assume color RAM. If not color RAM, then somewhere in VDP1 VRAM. So it's because it's the first one, the offset is 0, so that's the address that we're storing it in. And then calculation buffer. That calculation buffer is vertwork, which is where we stored all the vertex. Now this is what's weird to me, is that it's storing it by the total vertex count, which is a smaller number than the total number of colors. There's a table storage, and there's max number of polygons.
Yeah, because the vertices, the mesh is contiguous, so when you're calculating the lighting, you only need to do it per vertex.
Right.
Right. And then you can just use that same vertex between polygons and copy the color to the adjacent polygons.
Hey, so, Ray, this might be me being picky, and I'm sure this is just you agreeing with how SGL does it, but why is the second entry 2 instead of 1? I assume it's because SGL, the way it describes things, is it goes by 2s for each entry. Anyway. Well, that's noted for now. Are you sure it's a typo? It sounds like it might be correct, because we're talking about... Let's see, RGB15 is 2 bytes per color, 4 colors, that makes it 8 bytes. And so all of the... No, maybe it is a typo. Yeah, because then each memory just should be shifted 8 over, so then it should be by 1s. Okay, never mind. See, we're catching typos. I'm contributing.
Hey.
Yeah. Work table is all the polygons, and then with the size of max polygons. Work go rad table. Okay, so it's the number of polygons times 4 colors to store, because each work go rad table is a 4 color thingy. All right, I think that's about as much information we're going to get out of that for right now. Light set Garad table, shading table, shading table. Where do we define the shading table? Oh, it's this thing. And it's literally just grayscale. Light copy Garad table. Now, I'm interested in seeing how the lighting effect actually is applied from the Garad table.
What do you mean?
So, like, it's just
so, like,
saying...
if you edit it?
Yeah,
Or
is it just saying, hey, map the light levels, like the light intensity, to this go rad table? So if for some reason I put like halfway down, yeah, 16 is actually just straight up solid red, right? 0, 0.
um, 31. Yeah. If you do that, that will. How does SGL do that?
Because just by me like just naively looking at how it's implemented, to me it tells me it's mapping light intensity to like
Yeah, it's 32 colors that are essentially the gradient that
yeah.
it's gonna follow.
So I want to see if I can just interrupt the middle of the table with some random nonsense stuff. It'll just freak out and start drawing red, blue, and green.
Yeah, probably. It also, yeah, that's right. It's also pretty easy to get it to do fun, interesting things with palette sprites by just editing that lighting table.
Yeah. So now if it's working the way I suspect it's working, which is it's just picking light intensities and mapping it to different colors, how do you manipulate that in a way that makes it like usable in a way that you would want?
A way that
So like
way that
normally when the way you use GoRad is what, like your proximity to a certain light source gives you it paints you a little bit different.
in what games are
I'm
you
thinking like
thinking?
here let's pull up maybe like DK64, I think.
Oh yeah. Normally, yeah, you'd change the intensity based on it, and could have essentially a, I don't know, like a trigger volume-esque zone in which the lighting gets applied if you're close enough to it, and there's like a point light in the middle, and you just essentially change the light direction depending on where you were relative to it. So I'd do something like that.
So the way that they're doing it here, right, is they got this this is the same texture as here and here and here. They're all basically the same texture of just like metal bars or whatever. But the GoRad is being applied kind of smoothly, where the blue is being overlaid on top of it due to proximity to some arbitrary blue source. How do you define that in this format? Oh, okay, so this is all directional. So then
SGL is only doing directional lights. You could probably fake it like per object, maybe, if you like switch the direction per object depending on where the object is relative to some point light construct that you've made. But yeah. The direction for, yeah. It wouldn't really be a true point light.
Right. I mean, you could like calculate it per object by saying, you know, just calculate directionality from quote unquote light source to object, create a new light direction from that. It would be computationally heavy, but it would be doable. Bebetso, yes, that is indeed the case. I've been dark for a little bit, and that's primarily because, one, I've been doing mostly project management work and writing work for Seniriu this year, so I haven't had a lot of programming to show off that I wanted to show in public. And the other thing is I have been in a little bit of a programming slump. But this we're dealing with the SRL library from ReyeMe and Seven Shades and other friends that is going to be used in Seniriu, hopefully viewable at the beginning of next year.
Yes.
Okay. I mean, I already know what's going to happen when I change it this way, so I don't see the point of it. Let's try to do the unmodified demo just to show how smooth things can be. But also, let's put the background as black. I appreciate that, Pepetsu. I will make it a point to try to stream more often. Maybe not once a week, maybe once every 2 weeks, but I would like to try to force myself to get a little bit more productive. Especially since the rest of the household is out traveling for a little while, so I'm basically home alone for an extended period of time, giving me no excuse not to be productive.
Yeah. Make use of that empty house.
Yeah, man. Hey, if you come down to Albuquerque, though, I will host. We can go get some tacos or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Got the drive, but you know. Oh, are you still thinking you're gonna try to come to a PRGE this year, or is that sort of not on the table anymore?
What? You have to remind me when day it is.
Oh, I don't know off the top of my head. It's mid-October, I believe. I know the Shiro crew is setting up a SEGA lounge this year.
So the one and only problem with that is it says here it's September 27th to 29th, so it's actually really close.
Oh, dang, it's earlier this year.
Is concerningly close. Okay. The only issue with that is I have to set up accommodations for the pets. So, yeah. So, Pepetso,
I forgot that it was earlier this year. I've been treating it like it's like a couple weeks further out. I need to actually make sure that I have my time off work.
So here's what I'll say. I will check in with all the various pet hosting facilities, and I think I can commit to making the whole weekend. Just so I can come. I've been wanting to do it every year, and I keep forgetting. It's always during a really busy part of the year for me at my work. Yeah. But this year is special in that I'm becoming basically a full-time hardware engineer, which is part of the other reason why I've been kind of burnt out a little bit, because I've been doing like VHDL, learning a completely new language as part of my job, and then I come home and I'm like, okay, time to work on Seniriu. I'd rather write tonight. I don't want to go back to C++ because my head's in a completely different space. So, yeah, excuses. But let's plan on. I'm gonna try to head out to PRG, and hopefully I will see you there.
Awesome. Sounds like we're gonna get some more devs this year. That's gonna be awesome.
Which it also puts pressure on me to like actually have a playable combat demo, like I keep promising I'm gonna make in. Oh Jesus Christ! 2 weeks? Oh no! Okay.
2 weeks.
All right. Let's do this. Okay. Playable combat demo for Seniriu 2 weeks, debuting at PRGE, or it's my ass. Okay. This is a very impressive demo. I can see how you can use it for smooth lighting. I can see how you can use it to make low poly models look great. I don't see how you can use it in the normal way that you would normally expect Go Red shading to be used, which is okay with me because I hate how Go Red shading normally looks because people always make neon lights. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, sort of a trademark of the era, especially on N64.
It's kind of like a hammer and nail problem where all the devs get this new shiny tool. It's like, okay, I'm gonna make everything red, green, and blue, and it's like that's kind of unnecessary. Nothing looks like that in real life. Yeah. Okay, sorry, Pepetso. I've been avoiding answering your question because I'm talking about other stuff. But this is not Joe Engine. This is SRL. Is this library made by ReyeMe and the gang, ReyeMe and friends. Oh geez, let's just go directly to this website. This picture should be a hot link back home. ReyeMe, fix that. Makes this a heref or whatever. So it is SGL with a C++ wrapper on it. So I'm actually coding in C++, which is kind of novel because normally I'm working in pure C. No, it is not assembly. If you catch me writing assembly, it's because my life has hit rock bottom. Writing assembly for the Saturn is similar to making chocolate pudding at 4 a.m. it means you've completely lost control of your life.
Yeah.
Okay.
There have been some periods where I have gone through that, but I don't do it often.
So Pepetsu, it's not necessarily that assembly is that hard. I mean, it kind of is, but it's not because of that. It's because modern compilers are so good, you don't actually really need to do assembly. The worst case scenario is when you're doing something on the DSP, like Ponut has once or twice, and really
Oh,
the
dang,
DSP,
that's
yeah,
that's even harder. That's like its own assembly language.
Yeah, it's a completely different
beyond.
assembly language. And also, because of bus competition issues with getting data in and out of the DSP, it's hardly ever actually worth doing.
Yeah.
Like, Ponut is the only person I know that actually plays with it, and he says, yeah, don't bother. Him and Tim Burton, or whatever his name is, from Sonic R, are the only people I've ever heard of even touching the DSP, and from everything I've heard about it, it's just not worth it. Okay, yeah, Ponut.
Yeah, I've run like experiments and stuff with assembly on the SH2s, but just to test what's faster, but not a lot.
Haas Machine, you were correct both times. There's no point in writing assembly on SH2 because C is good enough with modern compilers to not need it. And also, if you're coding on the Dreamcast, you definitely should not be in SH4 assembly because it's the Dreamcast. You could write in C. It's fine. It runs Windows. I think it runs Linux now. I think they got Dreamcast Linux. All right, let's go to the next example. I think we've gotten what we're going to get out of this model. I want to start making some progress here. Clipping. This is interesting. What's clipping?
I think that's using the window mode for sprites, so you can clip sprites to a window, I believe.
Oh, okay. Because clipping to me is like frustum culling. That's what I assume you mean by
That's
clipping.
what I think of when I think clipping too.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know. Just a different usage.
So he's got this TGA that I assume is like a map that describes. Let's open up the TGA and find out. It's probably like a visual mapping of where he wants to define the window. Oh, I see what he's gonna do. Oh, I feel like I spoiled it. No, I don't want to spoil it.
It's cool.
Let's just run it. Oh, this looks so cool. Compile. And run. I needed this stream. This stream is bringing back some life into my brain that has been rotting with this non C++ type stuff I've been doing. Okay, check it out. So he is, and it's mapped to the D-pad. So he has two different images, these TGAs. So the TGAs are being loaded in, I assume, into VDB2?
VDP1. I believe these are all sprites.
Oh, these are all sprites? Okay.
Yep.
So he's got the Saturn with cover on and Saturn with cover off. I don't know if he took this picture himself or not, because I don't know too many sources online that have. First off, a Saturn that yellowed, it's browned. That Saturn is medium well, right? That Saturn is overcooked.
It could just be the color palette. It might be 256 color palette.
No. It looks like that. This Saturn has this Saturn went through the Gulf War after it was over, man. It's cooked. It's just bad. That needs like a retro bright and bleach and peroxide bath. But that is the true color. That is a correct color mapping. But what he's doing is he's got these two TGAs and he's got a window mode between the two windows. And SGL supports this and has a lot of documentation on it. It actually has a whole demo on it. I think if you go back to one of my old streams on the SGL demos, tutorial demos, it's got something like that. But let's see how he's mapping it. And you're right, it was VDP1. I didn't read that. Cover on and cover off. And he's just naming it that. That's the name. It wasn't. You took this picture. Oh my goodness, Ray, your Saturn looks awful.
Nice.
Your Saturn looks like it saw the end of the Cold War somehow.
Back in time.
Okay, so No, it's just he has a Japanese Saturn. Like, I know what a Japanese Saturn looks like. It looks like freaking this. It's that's a Japanese Saturn, right? And here's a Japanese Saturn with some moderate yellowing on it. And let's see, maybe there's another one. Here's a Japanese. I think this is like a special edition kind of. It's the gray model. Okay, so this it's supposed to be this model. So this is like a stock Japanese gray Saturn. And then here's ReyeMe's Saturn right over here. That.
Accurate.
Okay. I'm done picking on Ray. He made a really cool demo. I'm sorry about your Saturn. I feel really bad for it though. So let's see how he's defining this window. So he's got under the TV construct, he's got let's see, he's got half width, half height. So he's defining a width up where? Half the width of the TV? Half the width of the display? That's weird. That's not what I saw. Or is that... Oh, clipping size. There we go. So I'm assuming this is a 60 by 40 pixel. I hate that it has to be defined as floats, but whatever. 60 by 40 pixel display.
Yeah. 60 by 40 window.
Right. And then clipping position. So this is a 500Z set off.
Corner.
Yeah. So but it doesn't start at the top left corner, does it? I don't think it does.
Oh no, for the 3D vectors, I think that's the center of the screen. 0, 0.
Is it? Oh, yeah, that makes sense. But why is it at Z level 500? That's way far into the plane. I normally start at like 100 if I'm doing something like that. So,
I don't know if there's
Pepetsu,
a particular reason for it to be that far.
I will post it here for you to just look at the references, the same references I'm looking at. However, the GitHub I don't think is public yet. So this is like a preview. It's also a fun little demo for the technology that's going into making Seniriu. And hopefully within, I guess, 2 weeks, I have a deadline now, I will have something a little bit more substantial. So yeah, it looks like you're right. The top left corner is being pinned to center screen, which is coordinate 0, 0. So this is in screen space, I guess. And this is Z depth for the screen space. And then, but the width is not, I don't know what the width is doing here. What function does it have? Screen middle point? Oh! Okay, so he's anchoring. This is not an arbitrary decision. He's anchoring the position to, it's like this 0, 0, he could have anchored anywhere, but he anchored it to screen midpoint so that he could do this offset over here. So he's actually saying, okay, this clipping position is actually an offset from the screen middle point that I defined. He could have put that in a completely different location. I think 0, 0 on screen space is actually at the top left. That's what I remember. So he could have put this at 0, 0, and it would have started at the top left instead of the middle. And we can do that by changing this line. Check this out. And it wants floats for some reason. So we'll give it floats. And the clipping size, let's make it a little bit bigger. Let's make it like what's 4 by 3? That's gonna be 80 by 60. Let's make it a 4:3 window. Why not?
Yeah.
Clean. So I don't see where you define the Z levels for these sprites. Like they're being put into the screen, but I don't know where they're being put. Hey, Paru. Oh, they are at 500 level. Both the sprites are at 500 level, and the Z screen's at 500 level. That's weird. But I don't think it makes a difference. I think the window Oh, did I not build? Compile? Alright. I think the window works by just, like, everything that's visible, so I don't think the Z level for the window really matters. Oh, I broke something. What did I break? What did I break?
Oh, you might have it so that the outline of the box is not where the window is anymore. You might have offset one but not the other. Because the outline is a separate object, probably.
But Z level indicates order. Okay, but I didn't change the Z levels here. I still don't think I did. I just changed the clipping. Okay, so clipping position. Sure, yeah, fine, whatever. Screen middle point. Where's the window? Did it actually matter that I... Jeez. Okay, I guess I did have to keep it at screen middle somehow. Okay. So the screen middle point was important, but I'm not sure why. Set the clipping rectangle there. Oh,
yeah, because the polygon doesn't have the offset there.
Okay, so the polygon draw is at 0, 0, though. So you're right. I was never going to get them to line up then. All right.
Yeah.
There is a way to fix that. I'm not doing that tonight because it's not important. I do want to see this thing running again after I've changed the size of the window, though. So I should have made the window slightly bigger and more 4:3. I mean, to me, I guess what would make sense for the drawing order is... Yeah, okay. So I did break it. My bad. The drawing order, I would assume you would want the Saturn shell at like 500 and like the underside at 501 or something. That would be like... That would make sense to me in a diegetic sense inside the game engine, but whatever. It doesn't matter because they're like in literally two different virtual TVs, I guess you would say. So like if we see how this thing is drawn, cover on texture. Where do we draw it? Draw sprite here. Scene 2D. Cover off texture. So if this is a window effect, it should tell you if it's like in a different virtual location.
Yeah, clip inside versus clip outside. The window effect.
Oh, sorry.
When you set the effect, if you scroll...
Oh, okay. Clipping effect.
It's a long line, but clip inside versus clip outside.
Okay, so those are and these are not arbitrary definitions. This is inside of SRL's definition.
Yes.
So House Machine, not public yet, will be incorporated as the tool set for Seniriu, and ReyeMe could say whether or not he wants to make it public anytime soon. Okay. So by default, SRL has two different TVs, right? Or two different windows? Or is it multiple?
For sprites, I'm not sure. There are two different windows available for VDP2.
Yeah. It needs more time in the Owen Wilson. So from what I'm reading here, it's basically just it's some sort of flag that says when you are utilizing this window effect, I guess we're calling it clipping effect now, it could be either inside the window or outside the window when you apply it, or I assume by default, no clip at all.
Yeah, just disregard the window.
Yeah. I'm wondering though, is like I guess by default, does anything with clip outside already show as well? And then if you try to draw something with clip inside without defining a clipping window, you just don't see it ever, no matter what, even if there's nothing in front of it? Actually, let's find out.
I'm not sure. Yeah, might as well try it.
Yeah.
Try to break it.
Yeah, man. That's what I'm here for, right? And run with Metafin. Okay. So now there's two ways this could play out, and either we see the whole thing or we only see a square of it. And we only see a square of it. So this kind of answers my question, is even with nothing in front of it, if you draw something with the clipping window, clip inside or whatever, and you do not give it a clipping window to actually view it, you just aren't going to see it. I think the primary utilization of this is to set like a TV effect or like a rear view mirror effect. Like if you want to do like a driving sim with a rear view or a mirror thing type going on, it would be computationally expensive.
Or have like, or if you have like I don't know, you know how some menus have like different panels or split the screen in different ways, so you might want like a
yeah, I can see
window or something.
I can see creative stuff happening that way. It's just when you try to do like real game stuff with it, it gets computationally expensive because you're literally rendering twice as much scenery, unless you're really smart about it. Most of the time, when people are doing like reflection effects in the Saturn, what I've seen, I think like 100% of the time that I've seen stuff, it's people literally just rendering additional meshes and just mirroring it to make it look like it's in a mirror.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway, let's move on to the next, because we're already at 8 o'clock. I want to wrap up pretty soon. Distorted sprite.
Yeah, definitely. I've got to get going too.
Okay, I'll let you pick the next one. Which one do you think is the one that we should look at?
I like the interactive polygon demo just because it shows off some of the it's maybe not the most illustrative in terms of the code, but
all right.
I just like seeing how the distorted sprites work when you move around the vertices. But what were the other demos?
Well, too late. I
go back and see the list.
Let me pull it up. It was so we already went through like flat teapot, smooth teapot, and clipping. There's distorted sprite, interactive polygon. We're doing interactive polygon right now. Line, sprite effects, sprites, and then some other stuff. I don't know what test project is. It's probably not ready to be shown yet. Sound test from PCM, random math, which is not quite impressive. And then input gamepad, which doesn't really matter because we already are playing with samples that have input involved with them, so whatever. So interactive polygon is probably the way to go. Yeah. Anyway, let's try to load this thing up. I think I've already compiled it, so let's run.
It's a really cool demonstration of what sort of shapes you can make with the distorted sprites when you move the vertices to create convex shapes. If you grab a vertex, you can move it, and if you if you pull it sort of inwards to create a concave shape, you'll see how it creates a curve.
Yeah,
and those curves are just a really interesting effect.
Yeah. So this curve, I don't even know how to predict how it's supposed to work because like this is all 2D. Like this is not like you're not looking at a 3D shape. This is a flat plane.
No, but it almost like looks like what do you call it? A saddle on a.
Yeah, it looks like you're looking sideways at some sort of. Yeah, this looks like it's folded over on itself, and I'm sure if you drew a texture on it, it would actually create that convincing effect. Like
it's just a really cool thing that the Saturn can do, but not really any other hardware can do. Yeah. It's like all one single primitive.
So Papetsu, what's going on here is I don't know if distorted sprite is the correct term. It's not the distorted sprite demo. It's the interactive polygon.
No, it's interactive polygon. I guess distorted sprite would imply it has a texture on it, but.
Right. What I would really like to see is like I would rather this be a texture, even if it's like a grid, so we can kind of visualize the mapping of it.
True,
But
I've never seen it done with a texture to see how it looks.
is that something we could do?
It's
Try to,
cool that it has sort of some garage shading on, though, so you can see how the garage shading
yeah.
applies.
I mean, you need to have some sort of difference on it to see. And you see that saddle's only happening over here. It's not happening on the other side, so it's not. It's hard to be consistent with it.
Yeah. I don't know what you'd use it for in a game, but it's a interesting little quirk. Oh,
Okay,
Ray says try the distorted sprite demo.
All right, I assume it's going to be similar, but with an actual sprite on it. So yeah, SGL should function as SGL. So C++ should be a superset of C. So I don't see any reason why you wouldn't just be able to use SGL from inside of it. But I think the way that SRL is being constructed is you shouldn't need to actually directly touch SGL because SRL is handling so much stuff on top of it. It's almost like Joe Engine in that you probably are going to risk breaking some useful tools if you try to directly manipulate some SGL stuff.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that looks so trippy.
So just so we have an idea of what's going on here, let's go into the distorted sprite demo and looking at the actual. Oh geez, this is way too big. This is the actual TGA that we're looking at, and I believe this is one of the characters from Tenya. And so we're seeing a flat sprite being distorted by rearranging the whatchamacallit, rearranging the vertices.
Yep.
There we go.
It's just a quirk of how the BDP1 draws the lines between the different
But yeah, and just
vertices.
Just to confirm, all of the get random number. Holy crap! Oh wow, that is yeah. So this movement is all in 2D. It's all in the X and Y. So all that Z directional stuff that is apparently in the screen, that's not what's happening here. These are literally being drawn as flat sprites. These are 2D sprites.
Yep.
Yeah. So Haas, you can. No one's corrected me, so I think you can just directly access SGL the same way you should be able to as in Joe. It's just
yes.
that I think SRL makes more intelligent assumptions about what goes into a game. To the point where you'd be less inclined, because Joe Engine has some broken stuff in it, has some stuff you have to bypass, and as soon as you start doing 3D games in Joe Engine, you end up fighting Joe Engine more than it helps you. But in SRL, I'm seeing all the tools I need to actually get stuff done without having to get into the weeds.
That's the goal.
Yeah. So like Joe Engine, I think was originally conceived as a 2D engine, and as more and more people did more 3D stuff using Joe Engine the baseline, because Joe Engine is such an excellent starting point for a Saturn dev, because it's so easy just to like press play and get something on the screen, that everyone ended up getting like baby's first game on Joe Engine. But for the 3D stuff, you end up having to like defeat parts of the engine, redefine the work area by going into like make files you're not supposed to be able to access normally, turning off different features, having to redefine certain like 3D stuff. Like I don't think anyone's using like Joe's map format or whatever. They're using like ZTP or their own custom stuff, and they're going directly into SGL functions to do so. After a certain point, like by the time I got past Blue Skies, I don't think I ever actually used any Joe Engine functions in a Joe Engine game. I just needed to have Joe Engine do the initialization to draw things on screen, and that's it. Like I was using SGL for the whole time. ReyeMe, that should be a demo. You should have a 60 hertz demo of just random colors on screen. I mean, it might be like a whatchamacallit, epilepsy warning type deal, like if it was in real time, because that stuff would be painful to look at. But Whatever. What I wanted to look at is loading in that sprite, which is load. It's literally just this. Interesting.
Yep, it's super streamlined. As long as you use the bitmap interface.
Okay, I want to do that, but with like a grid texture. So let's make a grid texture. This is like the last thing we'll do tonight. Paint.net. And let's make this texture image resize to. Let's do like 100 pixels by 100 pixels. I think what we need for square root is like a lookup table. I think that's the only way to actually make it really fast.
Yeah.
A brush width of 1. And so let's make this a green, solid green. Come on, can I define colors here? How do I define a color? I can't do, there we go, RGB. Oh boy, we got more bots being filtered out. Twitch dev, or not dev, like whatchamacallit, 1, 2, 3, 4. Twitch mod tools are actually getting pretty decent. Anti-aliasing disabled. Normal map. Pixelated selection quality. There we go. You can go away now. I'm sure there's a smarter way of doing this, but this is the way I'm choosing to do it. There we go. Sorry, Ray. I think at this point it's too late for me to figure out how to do that. Jeez. Oh crap! I got rid of the colors. Get my colors back. Where's my colors? What color am I drawing? Oh, there we go. Now let's do all blue. Okay. I like how convenient Paint.net is. I use GIMP for image manipulation when I absolutely need to like get things exported in the right format, but Paint.net is just so easy to play with.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's my grid texture. Wait a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1. Oh, did I screw up my?
It's a different resolution than I.
You know what? Screw it. Okay. Let's call this. Can I save directly as a TGA? Yes, I can. Oh, this is from Galaximus. That was a while ago. Let's go back up to not distorted sprite, but interactive polygon. Oh, there's TGAs in here. Whatever.
Yeah, you just throw them in.
Whatever. It doesn't use the TGAs. Oh, I see what it's doing. Yeah, that was like the grippy hand thing. Grid.tga. Dot, not shift. Now, do I want a bit depth of 32 or 24, I think, right? Okay, and then let's go back in and open interactive polygon. Oh, let me copy this over first. Okay, there's main. Okay, initialize library, load cursor sprites. How do we... Okay, you have a GoRad table, and I think I'm going to replace that entire concept there. So what is the thing that you're printing out?
In the distorted sprite or the 3D polygon one? Interactive polygon? I don't know if we have the right...
Draw polygon. Polygon points. It's named polygon points. So where do we...
Might need a different call for the sprite.
But that's polygon points. But how does it draw? Is it... Oh, it's specifically drawing polygon and not...
It's drawing a filled polygon. That's where it says draw a filled polygon.
This might complicate matters because polygon points directly...
I thought you were gonna... Yeah, I thought you were gonna edit the distorted sprite demo. I didn't realize you were editing this one.
Well, this one, replace draw polygon. Okay. So let's outside of the for loop, let's load in the polygon. There's should I just do it this way and just PGA, or let's call it grid dot TGA
Grid.
Okay. But then when we draw
go down to where it says draw polygon. Wherever we
draw
are.
polygon. But where does it draw the fist? Because that's the code I also wanted to copy.
Oh.
Because it's not just drawing the polygon, it's also drawing the hands. Yeah, draw sprite.
Yeah.
So let's look at the definitions for draw sprite. Texture palette, location. Location is going to be the positions thing.
That might not be a distorted sprite though.
Okay, let's double check the other
I need to.
distorted sprite. How does it draw this one? It's literally just draw sprite points, and then the depth. Like, this should just be it.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So, if I wanted to replace this line, this line, instead of doing sprite points, we have polygon points. And the index, I guess, would be 2? Does that sound right? Because it's the third thing that we loaded in. Hey, where's the other draw sprite? Yeah, so yeah, this one is cursor fist or cursor hand. But where is... Yeah. Yeah, so it's literally 0 and 1. Those are the indices of the thing.
Yeah.
So 2 should be correct. So let's try this. Clean. Compile. And run with Menin. Let's see. Button switch. Oh wow.
That is something.
It's still applying a go rad to it. Let's undo the go rad because it's actually screwing up the texture pretty badly. Where's the go rad application? Handle. Where did it put the go rad table on? Oh, it is
table. Up. Oh, where is it putting it on? It's an effect, so it could be sprite. It should be a sprite effect.
Let's see. Filled, dragging handle. Let's see, polygon points, current handle. Move cursor.
Or you could just set all the Goron entries to neutral.
I mean, I could. Here's handle. Oh, Ray, we're almost done. This is the last thing we're gonna do is just disable the go rad just so I can see this thing working. Let's see. Where's the table being? Okay, how about this? Where are we applying table? I thought it was... Is it somewhere here?
It's the set effect is what's doing it, where it says draw polygon set effect garage, like right above where you are, where your cursor is hovering. Yeah.
But half transparency. But I'm not seeing where it's...
It's the outline. Go above to draw polygon.
Oh. Oh, I see.
If you just disable those two lines, like comment them out.
Oh, you know what? I think I reversed this thing. This should be here. And this should have been undisturbed because this is supposed to be the simple outline. I got that backwards. Run through these. Okay, there we go. Now, it's a little bit off, but that's kind of to be expected. But
see if you make it bigger.
It's because I made a single picture or a single pixel resolution type sprite. I could have made the thing smaller. In fact, I could probably go back and do that right now. It also seems to be... I think it's actually a little bit off center. And you know what? I know why. I know exactly what happened here. Okay, couple things. First off, let's change the canvas size. The texture width is not correct. It is 100. It should be divisible by 8. So let's change it to a 32 by 32. All right. So let's do that, and let's recompile and run. And that way, it's going to be a lot easier to see the grid anyway, because we only need a few grid lines to see the effect. This is a rookie mistake, and I had just gotten done making a whole bunch of sprites of correct size for Seniriu too.
There it is.
Okay, now it's line doubling. I don't know if that's a bug or if that's because like the size of the polygon is not correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd have to play with it a little bit more in order to check if that's correct. But this is like a visualization of the grid so that we can start doing some funky stuff. There we go. Some perspective drawing. And there we go. Here is a visualization of... So it looks like this side is going over the other side on the draw.
Yeah.
But it changes. Look, it's just weird. So look, it's like the line from the top left to the bottom right from this perspective. It looks like it's closest to you on the screen. But then I move it down. And now it's further away. Like it shifted through itself.
Yeah.
So you see, it looks like
on
the line on the left looks like it's behind. Now it looks like it's in front. So that's a fun little effect. ReyeMe, I highly recommend you use a grid for this demo just to demonstrate this effect. And this weird curvature that only happens on one side, I don't know how you make that consistently show up. It's really nice curvature. Like if you really wanted to draw a curve like this, figure out... you know how I could use this? A sonic boom kind of graphic would look great with this automatic curvature on it. Anyway, I think I've taken up enough of everyone's time. ReyeMe is sleepy. I'm sure Seven Shades has important stuff to do on a
I gotta get going.
But thank you, both of you, for coming on stream and helping out show off the SRL preview and helping me kind of get back into shape so I can get serious about getting a demo sooner than later. And hopefully I'll see...
2 weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks. I have to figure out if I can get leave and boarding for the animals that quickly. So
yeah, I didn't realize it was coming up that quickly either. I lost track of time this month.
Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and sign off for now, and hopefully I'll try to announce a stream before PRGE just to show off if I have anything done for Seniriu. Thank you, everyone, for coming. Hopefully, I'll see you guys all next time. Thank you again for Seven Shades and ReyeMe for helping support the stream, and Shane for re-upping his Bezos Bucks subscription. Yeah, sure, Ray. I think I'll be motivated to try to find a lot more stuff in the coming weeks. And I will see you all next time. So good night, everyone.
Good night.